Debbie Naruwa-Packer.
Tēnā koe te pika. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all of his government statements and actions?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Yes.
Supplementary. What does he have to say to the 29 kura and the 95,000 kaiako and akonga who have spoken out against the education reforms his government intends to pass tonight?
That they should be incredibly supportive, because this is a government that is focused on lifting educational achievement and attendance for Māori and non-Māori students. And the success that we have seen already in the lift of new entrant Māori reading rates under a structured literacy program are incredibly encouraging.
Supplementary. Does he stand by the answer the Minister of Education gave to our question on removing Te Tiriti o Waitangi obligations from school boards last week that, quote, elected parents to a school board should not be delegated what is a core Crown responsibility, unquote?
Yes, I do. I don't believe it's the board's responsibility to discharge a Crown responsibility around treaty obligations. I believe it is the board's responsibility. Their number one priority is to make sure they get kids to school and they teach them the basics brilliantly and they focus on academic attendance and achievement.
Supplementary. Should Crown entities be expected to uphold core Crown responsibilities?
Has its relationships and its obligations on the Treaty of Waitangi, and I've addressed that.
Supplementary. Why should school boards, a specified Crown entity, not be delegated a core Crown responsibility?
We are making it crystal clear to board members that we expect in a country where half our kids don't go to school regularly thanks to a Labor Greens previous government policy, in a country where half our kids are not at the standard they need to be at on reading thanks to a Labor Greens education policy, and where 80% of our kids hitting high school are not at the standard they need to be at on mathematics, that we are going to do everything, and nothing is more important than setting our kids, Māori or non-Māori, up for success so they can access high-paying jobs. But we are not tolerating, after 5.5 years of an absolutely hopeless education minister that ran our education system on the ground, couldn't get the kids to school, couldn't teach them to read and write, and couldn't teach them to maths. We're not doing that anymore.
Good. WhangāreiTim.
What is his government's track record of upholding their core Crown responsibility to honour Te Tiriti o Waitangi?
We as a government are very focused on improving outcomes for Māori, and I would appreciate it if that member maybe had some policy contribution to make as a party to what he's doing to improve educational outcomes for Māori, what he's doing to improve health outcomes for Māori or economic opportunity for Māori. And there's been nothing that I've heard from that member on those policies.
The Honourable Erica Stanford.
Can he confirm that the core tenet of upholding the treaty is around raising achievement for Māori students, and that is in fact been the first time in the last 2 decades we've seen an increase in Māori reading achievement through the phonics check?
Yes, I can. And again, what we believe on this side of the House is providing kids with an equality of
Prime
opportunity.
Minister, stop for a minute. It's not possible for the House to hear an answer with an immediate barrage as soon as he stands on his feet. Well, you clearly have greater capacity for hearing than I do. Prime Minister, you're going to be given a little bit of a better opportunity to answer that question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On this side of the House, we believe that Kiwi kids setting off on life should have an equality of opportunity. And one of the ways we do that is we lift educational outcomes for all kids, irrespective of their backgrounds, their ethnicities and their circumstances. And so I'm proud to say that our focus on back to basics has meant that for young 5-year-old Māori kids doing their first phonics checks 20 weeks into school life, there's actually been an 18% improvement where they're at or above expectations. There has been a 15% reduction in new entrants, Māori new entrant kids needing new and targeted support. That is a good thing, and I would hope that those members of that party, if they genuinely cared about improving outcomes for Māori, would celebrate that.
Supplementary.
The Honourable David Seymour.
Does removing treaty obligations from school boards actually stop anyone from doing anything they would like to do, or does it simply give more people the choice to live as they would like to in this country?
It makes it crystal clear that the primary #1 job of school boards is to focus on educational achievement. Nothing matters more than that.
Supplementary.
WhangāreiTim.
If Crown entities are not expected to uphold core Crown responsibilities, and if his government is not expected to uphold core Crown responsibilities, Who is?
The Crown does honour and uphold its responsibilities under the treaty. That is our obligation to do that. But in this case, when we're talking about school boards, we want school boards focused on getting kids to school and getting them set up for success. And I would hope that those members really would want those same outcomes for their kids too.
The Honourable Shane Jones.
To the Prime Minister. The importance of the Treaty of Waitangi as a part of the education curriculum, can you confirm that conflict resolution is a key outcome and sadly it's absent?
So, WhangāreiTim.
That question in no way violates 390 of the standing orders. Conflict resolution is a key part of educational outcomes.
Yeah, quite right, but the Prime Minister didn't stand up to answer.
That's right.
WhangāreiTim.
Can we give him a chance?
Why has he allowed David Seymour to test his regulatory agenda on our deregulation agenda on our mokopuna with the Early Childhood Education Reform Bill?
That was me.
With apologies, I don't really fully understand the gist of the question. I'd just say that the Regulatory Standards Bill is about making sure that we make regulation in a better way, that we get better quality legislation and regulation, and that's what's been proposed with that bill.
Supplementary. Why does his government feel so threatened by Te Tiriti o Waitangi?
We're not. We're a government that's very focused on saying it's high time that we improve educational outcomes for Māori, we improve health outcomes for Māori, we improve economic opportunities for Māori, and that's what this government's working really hard to do.
The Honourable Shane Jones.
Following up on the question of threatened, does the Prime Minister feel threatened by any of the Māori members of his cabinet?
No, I appreciate the challenge that I get from them on a daily and weekly basis.